Morning, Ben.
Morning, everyone. Let's keep going.
Check this out, Ben.
All right. Last night, another grind higher session out of the States, up about 0.5% in all markets, and really starting to feel like we're consolidating to follow the rest of the world and break out in all fashion and excitement and all those amazing things. Really, right now, it feels like the action of late has felt like people are scared to get involved in the rally, and they don't believe in it. And you see that in the volumes as we're kind of going higher on this low trade volume. But I think it's simply because the markets don't believe it, and you've kind of seen that in the way that we've struggled to get higher, but we're starting to get higher on all the indexes. We're starting to break out almost all the indexes, and it's really feeling like we're going to end up having to get a real capitulation to the upside before we can come any lower. So we did have a miss out of the Empire Manufacturing Survey yesterday. Locally, we had some retail sales that were actually nicely better than expected. We had crude oil, which ran really hard in yesterday's session. We had the dollar weakening a bit yesterday, and the euro strengthening, for instance, but that didn't really put a major damper on any European markets, still managing to trade to higher levels again, even with the euro putting on a little bit of strength. We look into the Asian session overnight. China, when I woke up this morning early, China was down about 1.5%, almost 2%, finishing the day up close to 3%. Absolutely amazing this rally that we've seen out of China, out of Shanghai and out of the Hang Seng markets. We had 1.1 million new stock accounts open in the last week in China alone. They're extending. Yesterday they extended record leverage overnight they extended record leverage in the stock market. In yesterday's session, there's been a flurry of IPOs there. Guys, borrowing money to buy the IPOs, borrowing money to buy stocks, and really just taking things through the roof. I don't know how much of it's actually on stimulus hopes. I know that you keep seeing market pundits make that claim. I think it's more of a function of markets. I think that there's a hysteria in the stock market there at the moment, and I don't know how late stage it is, to be totally honest. It's starting to feel like maybe mid '99 or mid to late 1999 of the dot-com boom in the States. So I think there may be more left on this. I think that we're going to end up seeing, before this is all said and done, we're going to end up seeing a lot bigger spillover into the likes of Tencent and shares like that. And we'll probably see much higher levels before we see anything significantly lower. And then other than that, it's not much action going on. We did have Australia that had better than expected jobs report for March. That really boosted the Australian dollar a little bit after yesterday morning. It looked like we were going to break down on the Chinese data, and resource sector tacking on a little bit, following I think on the heels of what we've seen this 2-day rally that we've really seen. We did have a couple major downgrades this morning out of Goldman Sachs, downgrading Anglos and Kumba and some of the stocks in that sector. I think Sasol as well, but we had some downgrades come along yesterday for some of those shares, and it didn't put a damper on them at all. So we'll have to see how that plays out. All right. We've got a couple of the majors out in the States tonight with earnings. Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. Pretty much every bank is beat up to this point. Can't imagine Goldman Sachs letting us down. Maybe Citi would, but Goldman has really been firing on all cylinders as of late, so probably see a beat there. Also, we had Netflix out overnight last night, which beat earnings quite handily, and really huge break. Oh, sorry, beat earnings. They actually missed on earnings. Sorry, let me take a step back. Missed on earnings quite badly, but they beat on subscriber growth and really just exploded to all-time highs on the back of that, about 12 or 13%, I believe, after hours. All right, key factors out today. Japanese machine tool orders maybe slightly better than prior numbers. Other than that, we've just got a slew of data out in the States: housing starts, initial jobless claims, continuing claims, and the Philadelphia Fed business outlook. So, I wouldn't say, besides jobless claims, obviously, not that much to really take today out of, in the first part of the session. We're probably going to be going on trade action more than anything. And like we said before, we've really had a hell of a run out of markets. I don't really see anything out there to stop that at the moment. So it could be higher for longer as we go forward. All right, let's get into the maps. All right, I've got a couple things that I want to look at here, and I really, before we get into, I want to start here with the S&P. So we're going to look at the spot here on the S&P, and you can see that we've put in a lot of time consolidating. We had a couple real back and forths in about a 50-point range, and I think that we broke out last night's session. You can see there, to me, if we don't drop 2040, for the time being, I think we're relatively solid. I mean, you could draw it like that, but I think 2040 is probably more the level to me. We're going to have to get below this range if we were to drop out the bottom. But you can see here, out of this little consolidation move, we were making lower and lower highs, I think, until yesterday. I mean, we really need to close up maybe north of 2110 in equities to give us a new closing high, but we kind of closed right at that level yesterday. And you can see there, to me, it's really starting to look like that pattern is maybe going away. So we're very close to breaking out to new all-time highs here in the S&P, less than 1% away. And the rest of the markets are all doing it, so I think they may drag the states up. And so far, earnings season out of the states, to be honest, hasn't been all that bad. Okay, so now we're going to look again. We're going to look again at the local future. So this is the Aussie breaking out in fashion. We talked about yesterday. Came back day before yesterday, but we talked about yesterday in the morning call. We came back to test the support level here at about 47,300. Breaking out really convincingly now. I mean, I don't even want to get into a target on this. I mean, the target is ridiculously high from here. I mean, we're talking about at least 5,000 points in terms of the technical breakout, and I just think, this is. I don't even know if we can doubt that this move's going to happen now. I mean, the way that everything's going globally, it feels like a lot of the people here have probably been, playing the short off of these levels. I don't see anything holding us back. A lot of the stocks breaking out. There's plenty of bearish news. You've had the IMF that's downgraded global growth here 2 days ago. You've got electricity crisis. You've got all the new fuel levies. You've got, xenophobia going on here, but no one gives a crap about any of that kind of stuff, to be totally frank. I mean, I think the foreign markets, are putting money into emerging markets maybe on the basis that the U.S. isn't going to raise interest rates too soon, and therefore you're starting to see another round of flow coming in, maybe non-specific to general equity markets. All right, let's get into some of the single stocks here. We're going to look at Steinhoff yesterday, which finally broke out. It's been an incredibly tight range. So let me zoom forward a little bit more. Incredibly tight range over the past few sessions, bouncing around between maybe 76.50 and 75, 70 or something like that. Finally broke out there yesterday. So definitely looking like we're going to take the stock to higher levels today. If you look at Vodacom, I'm going to look at a 2-year chart here, and this is the major. We're kind of, I would say we're slightly above that major level, but we've wicked above it a couple times. We didn't really get the close above the level yesterday. This level's around 139, so we kind of closed more or less at that level. And if we see this thing get above 140, then I think you gotta go with this thing and just go toward higher levels. I mean, it's amazing because earnings revisions for this thing have just gone down and down. You've got the threat of there's some government selling potentially, and market I think just totally shaking everything off here. It really looks like we're about to make a breakout. So we get above 140, I would say that's a place where you can play the long on Vodacom potentially if it gets above there. Otherwise, shorts must be stopped out. Okay, we're going to look at Old Mutual here. Zoom it really far forward here. So Old Mutual, yesterday, obviously the CEO announcing he's being gone, successor from Standard Bank appointed, and really started to look like it was just going to make it's just going to fail at that level, and then we had a nice close on the day. I think people really starting to look forward to him, the new CEO, potentially unlocking some value there. So I'm looking at the LSE chart here. Let's look at the the JSE chart. Okay, I thought that didn't look right. And really making a breakout to new highs. So it's kind of looking like potentially it could make a double top early in the session. We started to sell off down early in the session. We really rallied nicely into the close, new closing high. I think this thing's probably going to make a move up closer to $44. So watch this one today. Maybe get a bit of a second day play out of Old Mutual. Impala's maybe looking like it's starting to bottom out. Some of these, some of the commodity stocks here locally have made real reversals off the lows. We're talking about Billitons and Anglos of the last two sessions. Sasol made a huge run. I mean, Sasol's run, I think, 15% off the lows in the past maybe 6 sessions. And so, see Impala's here really making a nice hold finally around the 58 level. Nice run up yesterday, and starting to look like we've maybe put in a short-term bottom in Impala. If we look at SA Breweries, you can see here making a bit of a flag. I think the Rudder talked about this one the other day. Maybe a little bit of a bear flag, dropping out, lagging the rest of the market either way. So maybe just one that hasn't been trading so well lately in line with the markets. And I just wanted to quickly show Netflix yesterday. Sorry, it's not giving me the after hours here on the chart, but we closed up at around $540 after hours. So you can see that we were trading around 465, 470, somewhere in there right before the close. We traded to 540. That's what I call a freaking breakout, doing about 12% after hours. Nice breakout to all-time highs. I think the target is probably only around 550, so not that much more on the near-term target in Netflix. And that's it for today, guys. Good luck with the trading.